Hey, what's going on everybody? Commander Crane here, and we are back with another standard deck tech. And today, we're going to be talking about budget blue-white enchantment control. I feel like that was a little bit of a mouthful. I am very excited to share this very spicy budget list with you. As always, at the end of the video, let me know in the comment section below, is there a specific card that I forgot to include in this deck? Or do you have suggestions for upcoming videos? Just let me know in the comment section. And before we hop into here, huge shout out to Fards, long-time channel member here. Always recommends really spicy budget lists, and this one is the most recent one. So shout out to Fards for recommending this video. So okay, what are we trying to do with blue-white enchantment control? So the two cards that I like to spotlight first are Gremlin Tamer and Entity Tracker, both fantastic cards to play in an enchantment deck. So obviously we got Gremlin Tracker, whenever an enchantment you control enters, and whenever you fully unlock a room, make a 1/1 Gremlin creature token, which is just, that's a really good rate. We're going to be playing a lot of different enchantments, so having this effect is going to be nice. And then Entity Tracker is really good. 2/3 for 3 flash. Whenever an enchantment you control enters, and whenever you fully unlock a room, draw a card. So big fan of both of these cards. So what other enchantments are we playing to actually be able to make this card work? A lot of really good ones, let me tell you. So we're playing 2 copies of Unable to Scream, 4 Stay Hidden, Stay Silent, and 4 Seal from Existence is what I would say the bread and butter of this deck. Obviously, Unable to Scream is essentially just a good 1-mana answer for pretty much anything. Makes it an 0/2 toy artifact creature. It makes it lose all of its other types, which is just, or sorry, in addition to its other types. So just a really good card in general. Stay Hidden, Stay Silent is also really good. Man, I tell you what, these claustrophobia effects are getting so much better as time goes on. This is a 2-mana one that taps it and it doesn't untap. And then we also can shuffle it back into their owner's library, which is really good. So definitely huge fan of Stay Hidden, Stay Silent. And then Seal from Existence, a card from March of the Machines that no one really plays that I always thought was going to be super duper good. And we're playing it in this deck. So definitely huge fan of the Seal from Existence. Just having an Oblivion Ring with Ward 3 is very strong. Being able to exile any non-land permanent is also fantastic. So next slide here. Technically, Trapped in the Screen is worse technically than Seal from Existence, but I wanted more effects like this. And I'll be honest with you, there's not a lot of good Oblivion Ring effects right now in Standard. I know in the past, we have some that can only hit like creatures and planeswalkers, but then you can scry, kind of like Prison Realm, but we really don't have a lot of good Oblivion Rings. So hopefully we do get some more good ones in the near future. But for the time being, we are playing Trapped in the Screen, 3 copies of that. We're also playing 2 copies of the really good room, Restricted Office in Lecture Hall. So obviously you got the first side there, which when you unlock this door, destroy all creatures with power 3 or greater. And then for 7 other permanents you control have hexproof. So pretty solid. We're mostly just playing it because it's an enchantment board wipe. That's also really good because our main creatures don't get hit by this. So, which is a little interesting there. So definitely huge fan of that. And then we're also playing 2 copies of Into the Floodmaw because Into the Floodmaw is a really good card. There's a reason why it's a $3.50 uncommon, and that's why we're playing it in the deck because it is very good. And then rounding out our deck, obviously, we are a blue-white control deck after all. So we're playing 4 copies of Get Out, 4 copies of No More Lies, and 4 copies of Deduce. I really like Get Out just because of the option to be able to return 1 or 2 target creatures and or enchantments you own to your hand. I really like it for that effect. So it can be like a protection spell. Maybe our opponent, we play like an Oblivion Ring effect, and then they have a better target that we need to answer. We can return it to our hand. Sure, they get their dude back, but then we can correctly answer the card that we need to. It seems really good in this deck. And then No More Lies and Deduce are pretty self-explanatory. They're very good in blue-white controlled decks, and this deck is no exception to that. So that's the entire main board. It was a pretty quick, a lot of 4-ups for the most part, nothing too crazy. Let's go and hop into the lands. So lands is going to be really simple. We're a budget deck, but we still get really good dual lands. 4 Sea Chrome Coast, 4 Undercar Waste, and 4 Restless Anchorage make up our dual lands. And then rounding out our lands, we're playing 4 Demolition Field, 4 Islands, and 3 Plains. Really simple mana base just in general. And then as our spicy basic lands of the day, I know I don't feature these a lot, but I really do like a lot of the non-full arts from the new sets that have been coming out recently. I feel like the non-extended art lands have looked really nice, and I'd like to feature them, especially in our budget list. These are the personal favorites, at least from Duskmourn, that I saw. I know there's a couple different ones in addition to the full arts, and I definitely like these ones. So I just really nice in general, especially the Plains. I don't know, it looks really spooky, that kind of thing. So don't go anywhere yet, though. We still have to talk about our sideboard as well as some upgrade options for the deck. So Sideboarding is going to be relatively simple. Extra removal, there's a lot of really fast aggro decks going around in the format right now. I would definitely pack a couple Elspeth Smites for sure. And then at that point, it kind of depends on what your local metagame looks like. You know, maybe you want like Exercise or you want Destroy Evil. It really just, again, depends on what you're playing against for the most part. Lots of fantastic options though. Kidnap. I really love Kidnap in the sideboard. For those who don't know, it's basically a 4 mana, you gain control of the creature, but then you either give them a card or the creature gets a couple of stun counters. So, you know, it's a little bit of give and take, but I mean, just having a really nice control magic effect is fantastic, and it synergizes with our deck. We're also playing a couple copies of Torpor Orb. There's a lot of creatures entering that are really, really good right now, so I decided to just put in a couple of copies of Torpor Orb in the sideboard, and then we're also playing a few Rest in Peace. It's just a really good card in the metagame right now, and on top of that, it synergizes with our deck because it is an enchantment. So, you know, bonus points for that. And then the last thing we have to talk about is the upgrade options for the deck, which is really simple. Add the Overlords. The Overlords, new cards from Duskmourn, are really, really good in this deck, as well as Temporary Lockdown in Sunfall. I didn't mention them on here, but Caretaker's Talent is also really, really good. I think that's the white one. I'm sorry if I got them mixed up. But overall, there's a lot of really, really good enchantments right now that are being played in the format. So the current list as it is right now, including the sideboard and the main board, is only $51 US, which is incredibly cheap. Normally, I like to talk about an upgraded deck, or I offer an upgraded option in the sideboard, or at least, you know, in the description. So if you'd like to check out a slightly upgraded list, but I'll be honest with you, blue-white control in standard right now plays a ton of different enchantments. I know they're very, very token-based, especially with the Caretaker's Talent, and they play a number of different enchantments. I know they play the White Overlord as well. So honestly, if you want to upgrade this deck, I would just pivot to blue-white control. The base of the deck is here, though. You obviously have Get Lost, and you're really good, not Get Lost, sorry, No More Lies. You have, like, the entire base of the deck here, so you could start here and then slowly pivot into blue-white control if you're interested in that. So, again, normally I do include an upgraded list, but I will leave in the link. I'll leave a link in the description below of an upgraded list, though, like just blue-white control, a deck that recently performed well, if you're interested in checking that out, though, if you would like to. But if you like enchantment decks or, you know, spicy, like, mid-range / control decks, especially standard decks, this is definitely the deck for you. And let me know in the comment section below if you do end up building this list, or if you play a list very, very similar, whether or not it's in this format or another one, just let me know in the comment section. So, that takes us to the end of the video here. Thanks so much for watching. The deck lists are in the description below if you'd like to check them out for yourself. Huge shout out to our channel members, Ralph, Matt, Arcadius, Ray, Gary, Sarwanoki, and Night Red 3. If you were interested in being a channel member, it's only $1 US a month. You get access to the exclusive Commander Crane Discord, as well as other features here on the channel. So, I'm Commander Crane. Thanks for watching this video, and I hope to catch you in the next one.